This used to be two festivals that were separate. It used to be the bass drumming festival is called the Turkey Boogie, and separately the Highline Festival, which is we know as Gobble Gobble. And the bass drumming festival has been going on as long, maybe longer. So the two things kind of came together in this crazy way, and our festival just grows exponentially. And the more it grows, the more resources there are, so the more we have to share.
Stand around and help, but be careful with your eggs. We can tension them, put it up, and you can all go back to slacklining. What do you think? Yeah! Okay, so if you guys can help on that side with those two anchors, if you guys want to go to those two anchors, that'd be awesome. And then if a couple people can stay with me, we can move the net. So
the reason to come to Moab is adventure. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It is always an adventure out here.
They're trying to tension it with pulleys rather than just pulling the line tight and then clipping it in.
You have four-wheeling and kayaking and base jumping and paragliding and skydiving and rock climbing and canyoneering and artifacts and like all sorts of like archaeology and I mean anthropology and everything out here. Having all of that provides a platform for incredible adventure, and that's what people seek in life is kind of adventure and purpose. And I feel like when people need to find purpose, sometimes like getting away from it all and going to a cliff edge and having that like stomach dropping feeling of seeing the abyss and everything and how big everything around you is and how small your life in comparison is. And I feel as if it's something that's very special. Love makes you do the stupidest and most absurd and most profound things. And when you love something, you can't explain it sometimes. It's just a gut feeling you get. And when you love the feeling of adrenaline, when you love the feeling of the rush, when you love the feeling of letting go, you can't tell someone stop that. But you can have kind of a rhetoric with yourself where you can try to control your own energy. And controlling your own energy is very hard sometimes because a lot of the people who do these sports, a lot of the people who push themselves to these areas have very high energies, addictive personalities, where when they do something they can't stop until they've done it to the point where they want to.
Okay guys, it's time to open up the portal! Jimmy's dad, we got Jimmy, we got myself. Wish us luck!
You make me feel like I've come home. You've got a beautiful soul. If I'm feeling alone, I just remember your song. Oh, oh, oh,
There's so much love and generosity and inclusion happening out here, and I think that is something that we don't maybe see a lot in communities in our world, and maybe that's why people have responded to it. That's why I think this community just sees such explosive growth. There's so much love.
Secret squirrels, baby.
All right, gobble, gobble. 3, 2, 1, see ya.
Ow! We've had people jumping off the high lines today. We have everyone jumping out of the space net.
I see my love for you come silently. You make me feel like I've come home. You got a beautiful soul to see. If I'm feeling
Good work for the other guys. Point essential check. Leg strap, chest strap, GoPro.
Oh, GoPro?
I'm missing a piece. Shit. Good idea. We wouldn't do it, right? All right, go ahead, Nick. I'll follow you off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
See ya.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, see ya. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
Thanks, guys. Love you all. I don't know how to do the heart thing. How do you do the heart thing? Like this? Yeah.
Base jumpers have an appreciation for life that most of us would do anything to get. And that's kind of the paradox in all of this is it's easy to stigmatize something that we don't truly understand, like base jumping. At the same time, as I've gotten to understand the community and the people behind it, I see why they do it. And I also see how it changes their life for the better and gives them this fire and this passion to want to live life to the fullest every day, no matter the consequence. And that's hard to grasp sometimes, right? As a human being, you want to do everything you can and do it at your best, but maybe you don't want to get burned. And that's understandable. But I feel like there's something to be said for people who face their fears every single day, no matter the consequence.
You're the only one who brings me comfort, so won't you please calm me down? And if I tell you I'm worried, won't you please calm me down? And all those times that you've carried me home.
So the base jumping community, we come together almost as a family. That's why we have this event. We started skydiving together. We started base jumping together. We've slowly progressed throughout the past, 5 to 10 years, working towards a solid goal together. And when you're doing something like base jumping that will take you anywhere from Moab to Norway to Switzerland to France, and you're in the mountains, and you have to watch each other's backs, you have to take care of each other. Over the years, you'll grow bonds with people that are solid friendships that are for life.
You showed me how to love, taught me how to breathe with your belief in me. Only you hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I could never tell you just how much I feel. Belief in me. It's only you hold me like you never let me go. You're gonna need a bigger chainsaw to cut me down. You're gonna need another horse to drag me round. I'll need to see a little bit of love before I'll be found. 'Cause I ain't got roots to hold me down.
I'd like to thank you guys all, first off and foremost, for helping out with the Space Net, getting it all done, going over there, waiting in line. Thank you all. That's amazing. So I want to talk to you guys about being here in this place. As you can see, we're here. That's definitely for sure, and that's all good. Now what we got to do is we got to try to keep this place clean. So when you see trash, pick it up. It's matter out of place. That's the Burning Man style. We'll just pick up the trash. Can we all put our hands in the air, everyone? I promise that I will poop in a bag. I promise that I will poop in a bag. Either that, or I will bury it so that no one will find it for at least 300 years.
I will bury it so that no one will find it for at least 100 years.
Slacklining is the most inclusive extreme sport that I've ever discovered, and I like make it a hobby to keep learning more and more extreme sports.
How stoked we are for being here and that everybody's with us right now and that this is all rigged. So let's just do a test. You guys ready?
Well, when you live this free, it's hard to believe you'll ever perceive this life differently. And on Monday morning, I wake up smiling. 26 years old, requested retirement. First off the blocks, never looking back. I'm always rigging for a living, always keeping it slack. I'm that professional, unprofessional. And if I gave my confession would go.
The value in failure is awesome, super awesome, where you're like, the fun behind this is how much you have to fail before you succeed. And a lot of people don't want to work hard. They feel like failure's all they can do. Why even try to succeed? And that's like the whole part, is to find fun in failure, find and embrace what you can learn from failure. And that's kind of where Slack Life led me, was using those metaphors, and especially the ones around fear and how to connect with fear and have a relationship with fear, not just let fear control you, but embrace fear and let fear empower you.
That kind of gets a little bit to the heart of it. You're exposed, literally when we're naked, we're exposed. We're unsafe. We're like, it's just us and the world, and there's nothing in between. And so when you get out into the center of a high line, it's just you and the air, and there's nothing else. And so in that sense, you're exposed. It's the sense of being away from everything safe really far. I have a joke about exposure. It's, what do you call a naked highliner? Overexposed.
They call me insane, they call me afflicted. Well, the truth always hurts, and your lies are so twisted you can't fake it to make it.
Yeah, I think fear comes into play because it keeps you safe. I think not having fear would allow people to do things that they probably shouldn't be doing.
All right, Andrea, whenever you're ready.
Knowing what the right kind of fear is to overcome, and making sure you're not losing your proper judgment because of the fear, and not let that fear push you one way or the other.
No worries. Just make sure you give me a count whenever you are.
I think that there's something that gets missed in all the media that we make that makes all this stuff look so cool and extreme and puts it to a rock and roll soundtrack and makes all of us look so cool, is that you miss out on the struggle and the hard work and the beginners walking. Those don't make it into the final cut ever. And so I think that there's maybe an aura of inaccessibility around what we're doing out here, but it's truly something anyone can learn how to do and love. Slacklining is about sharing. Like, it's even from when I knew nothing about high lines, had never come to Moab, had just started walking lines, like I knew it was the unspoken rule of slacklines that if you rig a line, everyone who comes by who wants is of course invited on.
And that's what I find the most satisfying thing out of everything that I've ever done in slacklining, is the ability to connect with people worldwide. And that's how Slack Life became a thing, was because so many people connected with the metaphor of slackline. But not only that, the sport of slackline, the practice of slackline. It's so straightforward. Point A to point B, literally you walk straight forward.
It's a community of sharing people, and that's how we all learn, is on someone else's slackline. And I think that in Moab, it's really exciting, especially this festival, because we have two magical factors. We have a community who's like, one of their main principles is the idea of sharing and learning, teaching and welcoming. And then we have, from nowhere, I never would have guessed it, about 1,000 people who are dying to be welcomed into that community.
Or Slack Life is living your life every day just like you're walking a slackline. You take one step at a time. You focus on your breathing. You connect spiritually, you connect emotionally. And you can focus on your goal at the end of the line, but until you take every step in the moment, you'll never get to that goal.
You're looking pretty, I'm sure. Knock on my door, it's always open to you. So throw it open all the way and let the house see the day. Let us look over the view.